football at the Super Bowl presented by Cade Jewelers. Best fans in the universe here. Even fans from Brazil, all over the place. Fans from Germany hanging out with us here. Peter Schrager, Nate Burleson, Kyle Brandt. Do you want to talk about this?
Let's do it. It's Friday. We're a little slap happy. Last segment from my Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl prediction. I dressed up as Len Dawson in the cigarette and fresca pose. Television, I didn't have time to get back into my wardrobe fully, so I am half Len Dawson, half South Beach, or as Peter called it, what did you call it, Peter?
Well, the centaur is half human, half horse. You're half Len Dawson, half Kyle. You're the Lentor.
Hey! That's our show on a Friday, and I like the Chiefs.
What, is there a parade happening that we didn't know about?
Yeah, can you play Wooly Bully? Come on, let's go. Play the hits.
Going on? It's lit. In Miami, we're going to break down everything. You heard our picks. We'll get you all the info you need to make your decision on who you think has the advantage on Sunday. It's time for the
lead block. Don't turn around.
Omar Ruiz. Why'd you say that like little John, Nate? Omar Ruiz with the Niners. Tom Pelissero with the Chiefs. Omar, besides the fact that they are composed of several first-round draft picks, what's been the key for this Niners defensive line to have all the success that they have had this season?
Yeah, good morning, Kay. There's no question the 49ers defense is as talented as any in the NFL, but it's that connectivity they share that has been a big part of their success. You can look at their secondary, Jaquiski Tart and Jimmy Ward. They've been playing together since high school. Tart telling me that because they've played together for so long with the same mindset, they consider themselves like brothers. And then on that defensive line, we know Eric Armstead and DeForest Buckner played together in college at Oregon. I asked Armstead how those relationships have helped them on the field this season.
I think it's been great to have those relationships. I know for me and Defo, playing together for so long and, you know, to have somebody to go through a lot of similar experiences with you and, you know, a guy who, you know, has your back and you're going to go out there and fight hard and, you know, try to help our team win games. And we've been doing that for years now. And I'm sure it's the same for Jaquiski and Jimmy.
The 49ers have one more practice later today. It'll be more of a walkthrough before the official stadium walkthrough tomorrow. Yesterday, they wrapped up a more physical practice. Jaquiski Tart, Tevin Coleman, Quan Alexander, all once again limited, but Kyle Shanahan reiterating they'll all be good to go on Super Bowl Sunday. So the 49ers certainly getting healthy at the right time. For more now on the Chiefs, let's send it up to Tom Pelissero.
Omar, the Chiefs' offensive line is well aware of the challenge it has ahead on Sunday. As left tackle Eric Fisher told me, I think it's any defense's dream to have 5 first-round rushers on that D-line. We'll take that on our shoulders and go do our jobs. 49ers ranked #1 this season in pass defense and in sacks. And those 5 first-round rushers, listed includes the former Chief D. Ford, who was traded in the offseason, have combined for 8 of San Francisco's 9 sacks so far in the playoffs. Now, the Chiefs like to spread things out, get their running backs involved in the passing game. But even Damian Williams told me he knows he's going to have to chip at times, help guys out in protection just to maintain. If you let that D-line while out, Williams said, it's a wrap. The motorcade's already lined up to my right. The first bus is leaving about an hour for the Miami Dolphins facility up in Davie. A special teams practice at 11:15, followed by a lighter full squad session for the Chiefs today. Okay?
Thank you so much. The countdown is on. I can't believe this is all happening. It's Friday, our last show, our last hour of the week. And then we'll find out who is Super Bowl champion, and we'll be with you throughout the entire weekend and Monday for your highlights. Thank you so much to Omar and to Tom. What's the matchup that you guys are going to be watching most closely on Sunday?
I'll jump right in. Bosa versus Fisher. I think we talk a lot about Bosa, this great pass rusher. He's likely going to win the NFL's Defensive Rookie of the Year award. And then Eric Fisher is an unknown, very little discussion about him, but maybe the best left tackle in football and playing some of his best tackle of his career. He's a #1 overall pick. He's got Mahomes' blind side. I think Bosa, everyone expects him to go off and get 3 sacks. I think Eric Fisher and that Chiefs offensive line has a ton of pride. When you've got Fisher on one side and you've got Mitchell Schwartz on the other, and everybody all week is talking about 5 first-round picks in the pass rush, I think there's a little pride right there. Bosa versus Fisher, that to me is the matchup I cannot wait for.
I got a name for you, and it's funny. I'll say this name, and we haven't said it all show, and you guys are going to hear me and say, really?
Okay.
Tyreek Hill. we've been talking about everything surrounding this game.
Really?
Haven't mentioned the fastest dude in the NFL yet. For me, it's Tyreek Hill versus the secondary of the 49ers. Listen, they're as good as anybody, and I feel like this is the most unheralded group. We're obviously going to talk about Richard Sherman, but it's the rest of the individuals that make this team complete. But what happens when you face Tyreek Hill, you put yourself in a position where you think you can go man. Then you're like, you know what, I'm going to go man with help, which takes another guy out of coverage. And then some teams, just like the Titans did, said, we're going to drop back everybody and just basically put 7 guys in little spots and play zone. Tyreek Hill is too fast, just like the rest of those individuals. So for me, it's Tyreek Hill versus the field, because they're going to try so many different ways to stop him. And I just got to be honest, you can't stop Tyreek Hill. He's just that fast. So for me, what's going to happen in this game when Pat Mahomes drops back and Tyreek Hill is taking that shot early in the game, kind of like we talked about, is he going to come down with the rock? Because if that happens within the first 15 plays, I feel like this game is going to be over before it starts.
That's it. Just one big play to Tyreek.
Because it deflates you. Because how much can you try to run the ball if the score keeps going up?
Right.
And I think we talked about it here on the show. Well, maybe the Chiefs should switch it up. And maybe they should ground and pound just to throw everybody off. It's chess, not checkers. No. Just like if we were at recess, if I'm the fastest guy, I don't want to go play football. I want to go run track. Hey, Kyle, you want to race?
Sure.
Because I know how fast I am. And that is going to be this Chiefs offense. Do you want to race?
Okay.
Who can keep up with us?
Well, I go back to the guys. I'll full circle the guys doing the shot put. It's the big guys, and I think it's that Niners D-line versus the Chiefs O-line. Pelissero was all over it. If the Niners D-line wilds out, it's a wrap. It sounds like something in one of Nate's bars. I keep coming back to this thing of Mahomes. Of all these highlights we've seen of him, we've never really seen him get rocked. I mean, I remember Russell Wilson taking huge shots from Clay Matthews. I remember Aaron Rodgers getting up and his helmet's on backwards and chin shot. I've never seen that from Mahomes. As much as we ooh and ah about the throws, it's those little flickaways and that little elusiveness that he has that I think could really torment the Niners. You need to hit this guy hard like he's never been hit, and he's just so good at avoiding it. Part of the reason I picked the Chiefs is that, the Niners have crushed everybody. They crushed the last 2 playoff games. Patrick Mahomes has never lost an NFL game by more than 7 points. His worst loss in the NFL is just 7 points. The Niners aren't blowing this guy out, and if they don't hit him, they're not beating him.
The receivers on the Chiefs can take full advantage of the secondary of the Niners. It's facts, it's physics, it's math, it's speed. Kelsey, a huge mismatch problem for anybody trying to stop him on the field, whether they use Sherman or not. Do you see a world, Kyle, where that pass rush, and it's clearly part of the matchup that we're all looking for and affects it, can not stop Mahomes, but slow down this offense enough to get a win?
I think what they can do is stop him from running. And they've seen him in this playoff run that Mahomes running has been the biggest backbreaker that you don't see coming. It's almost unfair. I do not believe that Robert Saleh's defense is going to let him keep going. 3rd and 12 are in for 13 yards. I don't really think that they can slow him down passing. I think he's that good. But if you can stop those 3rd and long runs,
I'd
that
say
helps.
this, though. When he had that great run against the Titans, he went along the sideline. Rashaan Evans was a second too slow. Quan Alexander and Fred Warner, who we don't talk a bunch about because we always talk about defensive line.
How fast are they?
The 2 linebackers for the Niners might be the fastest linebackers in football right now. And they will get to the sideline, and they will contain Mahomes. They're going to make Mahomes beat them with his arm.
And they're rested.
And I'll tell you.
But are those guys not worried about Kelsey, though? I mean, that's a big...
That's what I'm saying. Listen, there lies your conundrum, though.
Tough.
If you're a defense, what are you going to do? Are you going to dedicate a couple of guys to focus on Pat Mahomes because he can use his legs? Then that means that's one less dude to stop Kelsey, to stop McCole Hardman, Tyreek Hill, Damian Williams coming out of the backfield. Teams are going to have to pick their poison. If you're bold enough to say, you know what, we're going to send heat, we're going to try to blitz him, we're going to try to hit him, make him feel uncomfortable, then you're leaving your secondary open for a big play. I feel like I hear what you're saying, Kyle. Hit Patrick Mahomes. Let's see if he gets rattled. But this dude's kneecap was on backwards one game, and he wanted to go back in the game in that game.
Right.
So I don't care if he gets hit. I do feel like he's going to take a shot in this game.
Okay.
Where he's going to have to wake up, dust himself off, but he's ready, though. He's built differently. I don't think anything can rattle him.
I think we're ready.
Are we ready?
We're ready for the Super Bowl. Are you ready to actually change? Is this going to happen the whole hour?
No, I have a half Len Dawson, half South Beach look. I kind of like it. It's working.
It works.
We're just getting started here. It's heating up in Miami. One of the hottest young players in the league has come to our show. Seahawks breakout star DK Metcalf will be joining